best to start off by, even before you open the app to do anything, meditate on your intentions and vision for the room. Know why you're coming in to host the room, and then yeah, go from there. Whether you make a decision, whether it's something that you're planning way ahead of time, or that it's just something that a topic you want to talk about or pose a question to the room, to the people who are active, and see who comes by. So ranging from that spectrum of an impromptu room all the way to something that's very pre-planned. And alongside that, there are just many, many decisions to be made. Like, this is all still before you open the app. Like, what are you going to do with the hand raising? And I know um, yeah, sometimes we just jump into adding people onto the stage. Sometimes we focus more on giving a little bit of like background and presentation first, and then so like a just seeing how things go as well, but maybe making having an idea of what you would want, because you can always open or close the hand raising whenever. And then who, like, is it going to be you yourself running the room on your own, or with, like, my right now, me and Widgeby together, or with a few other people as well. So, I feel like if you do have a few people who are involved, um, put them on the calendar and create the event, and then I that way, people get notified more of, like, when you do open the room, because then their community will get a notification saying, oh, so now, like, Katie is talking on the stage talking about this topic, and then they'll know to come and join you if they're interested in hearing from you and interested in the topic. So that's just the beginning of it. Now so that I feel like I have covered kind of point number one, which is more like impromptu versus pre-planned, and this deciding on the amount of planning you want to do, and whether you're putting this on the calendar. And the next part of it is, do you want to set up an agenda with cues, and how many minutes are you going to be in each segment of the time that you have? Um, Usually people kind of talk in terms of being on here and talking for 1 hour, or an hour, 15 minutes, an hour and a half, something like that. And so that's the pre-planned one. But then when you do want to do something more impromptu, you can, even if you're starting a room like in 5 minutes, you can still put it up on the calendar, because then someone may go check their calendar and see it in their calendar, and then they can still continue to see it for, I don't know, maybe another 15, 20 minutes, and be able to still continue to participate. And you can put a little description telling people what you're up to. So all of that, the impromptu way of doing things, I feel like it's more from practice and experience, and leaning on the techniques of just how you may run the room, and um, remembering how you have done it before in real life even, and taking those abilities over here to Clubhouse. And then the pre-planned one is, definitely when you want to do like some sort of creative production, or you're giving your TED talk, like, you definitely want to pre-plan for that. And also because then you want to make sure that there's a lot of people listening in and getting value from it. Good thing is now we have the replay, so people can come back and listen back in. So that's still just point number one. Would do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I think that that pre-planning is really important, so that you can pay attention to the flow of the room, and to whether or not you have a lot of people, or not a lot of people, you still can have content, because you've already set that up, and then based on how many people you do come in, or on your decisions, then the room can either be longer or shorter, but then your content is solid. And to me, I think that's very important. For I've been able to create like a formula to how I run my rooms, so that it can sort of have a little bit of all of the things, or many of the things that you've said. So that way you can have, a bit of a diversity. So yes, part of it is me giving that, lecture or a presentation, and then, interactions with the audience. So that, it is a mixture of seeing where you are, using a mixture of things, to apply, and then of course seeing where you are comfortable at. And what I found is that my audience has become comfortable with the way I've run the room. I try to make it flexible so that if it needs to change, it does. But that's what I found so far anyway. So hold on.
Yes, I love that you have the materials prepared for what your talking points, things you want to say and cover, and so that people who are listening, they can just absorb the information and tune in and know what to expect from you. That's how they will want to come back again and again. And then, so let me go to the second point. This is all just even before you open the room. I feel like it's a decision on the format for engagement, and it has to do with deciding on, like what I said before, the hand raising, what you're going to do with that, and then sharing your guideline for participation. And so those are some of the things that you want to think about, and maybe, yeah, make a note of it mentally, maybe even practice saying that out loud, the guidelines, so that you can say it quickly during the reset, and make it your own. And then as far as like the format for presentation, it's like I feel like it's either you choose to be interactive, and it's like, so thinking about how many people you want on the stage. Is it going to be in introductions where you meet and greet everyone, and then you just bring people up, you invite people up and let them talk more, more or less? It's a networking type of room, or people just talk about what they do and what they're looking for. And then the next one is very much very clean cut, like this is now you can come and ask one question, and then return to listen mode and return back to the listening lounge. And then the other one is the broadcast and presentation, which we've already talked about. So those are the formats for the room. And then I feel like it's really important to think about, well, everyone comes into each room with an assumption of like of their what they've learned from other rooms, what they've learned being participating in a virtual talk in real life, and how those have gone, and their level of participation, whether or not it's whether or not they, as the listener, were engaged in speaking or adding thoughts and comments to what's being taught or shared, and whether it be like a group um, popcorn type of style of session or improv even.